Efforts to administer the coronavirus vaccine are ramping up in the United States, but the nation is nearing another horrifying milestone. Nearly 400,000 people have died of complications from COVID-19. There has been an average of more than 3,000 deaths a day in January. Countries around the world are struggling with dangerous surges and trying to get vaccines into people's arms as quickly as possible. New variants of the disease have only complicated the situation. For more, I'm joined by John Moore. He's a professor of microbiology and immunology at Weill Cornell Medical College. Dr. Moore, welcome. It's so great to have you with us. So, of course, researchers are finding this new COVID-19 variant in hard-hit California. California can, barely stand any more bad news when it comes to the coronavirus. Tell us what you know about it and how it is impacting the state.
Well, very little is out there. It's been reported really over the last day or two, and there's nothing in the science literature. It's called L452R, which reflects the position on the virus spike protein where the change is located. It's thought by epidemiology tracking to be more transmissible, but there's no hard data on this yet. It originated in Denmark and was first seen in California last month. But like other variants that are popping up now in the USA, it needs to be carefully studied and we need to understand it better. But remember, all of these variants, they haven't suddenly grown scissors that will burrow through a mask. They haven't developed spring heels that will jump them tens of yards from between people and people. We still prevent them by the same common sense methods of mask wearing and social distancing than we should all have been doing all last year, but unfortunately often haven't been.
Very good reminders that wearing the mask and all of the common sense stuff that we all know very well works against all of these strains of the virus, as does the vaccine, as far as we know, correct? I mean, the way the vaccine is formulated, it can easily be tweaked to address these variants, correct?
As of now, the vaccine is thought to still work just as well against this UK variant that has been starting to spread in the States. There'll be more information on that in the near future, but it looks pretty good for vaccines being able to still prevent that. We don't know about the new California variant. It's just too early. There's a variant spreading in South Africa that is more of a concern to us. And again, there's going to be more learned about this in the coming week, perhaps. But it's not here yet to the extent that it's not been found here yet. But yeah, in principle, the vaccines can be redesigned, but it would take time to produce large amounts of new stocks.
Right. So I guess that's what my next question is to you about this issue of time. We're hearing about these new, more contagious strains. Former FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb says that he expects this coronavirus strain that first discovered in the UK to dominate cases in the US in a matter of weeks. Do you agree with that somewhat alarming assessment? And how would this threaten plans to quickly slow down the virus spread with vaccines? Because in terms of timing, it sounds like this could spread faster than we can get the vaccine out.
Well, I wouldn't like to put dates on when it will become dominant in the US. There are so many variables, but we did see something similar last March, April, May, when a variant arose in Europe and then rapidly spread and became the dominant virus. And that took place in a period of a month or so. So yes, it's more transmissible. And yes, that's a problem, but it's still dealt with by the vaccinations. So we need to get the vaccines rolled out as efficiently and administered to as many people as possible. And the new Biden team has an excellent plan. I've read it and it's been discussed in the media. There's an excellent group of scientists behind it. There's some new leadership, and I fully expect that we'll see a massive improvement in vaccine rollout and performance in the coming months as the Biden team takes over.
Right, and to that point, as you just mentioned, the Biden administration has a goal of vaccinating 100 million Americans in 100 days. So you believe this is feasible based on what you've seen on the rollout. Are you concerned about distributing the vaccine without knowing for sure whether the second dose will be available?
Well, I don't favor delaying the interval between the first and second doses, and neither do most immunologists. And the Biden team is well aware of this situation and has said that it will do all it can to minimize the chances of a delay becoming unacceptably long between the first and second doses. So yes, there's a risk. They're well aware of it, and they do have a plan to try to manage that as well as possible. So I'm confident that it will work out okay in the end. But there are lots of rooms for improvement. I mean, the states need to act with greater flexibility. There does need to be more mass immunization sites. Something that's popping up is that seniors, often who do not have computer skills equivalent to younger people, I mean, even I have trouble with online forms, they don't have the ability or even the internet connections to deal with registrations online. They need help to get past the bureaucracy. They need specialist assistance. There needs to be more dedicated facilities available for seniors to get the vaccines to which they're now entitled. This is fixable, but it's only just surfacing as a significant issue in some states.
Good point. Infrastructure all around has to be addressed to get this rollout to work for everyone. John Moore, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Happy to be helped.